Watching it reminded me of Gundogan when he was at his best.
This is Reijnders.
And Reijnders hits it into the back of the net.
This is Gundogan.
It's Gundogan. Gundogan scores.
This is Reijnders again, and this is Gundogan again. When Gundogan left after captaining the treble side in 2023, City were never able to replace him. Obviously, it's hard to replicate a player of that quality, but they didn't even look for a similar profile. Gundogan became his own replacement, but now he was an unk. Well, fast forward, and Pep has found Gundogan's regen. Reijnders can play as a 6, as an 8, he can defend, but he can also get you goals.
It was back to Manchester City being at the best, and Reijnders, I did a bit on him on Match of the Day, my word.
The way he drives with the ball, it looks like he is gliding.
The little bit where he went through the middle and then did the little scoopy pass was absolutely sumptuous, wasn't it?
The man put on one of the most impressive Premier League debuts I've ever seen.
Tijjani, congratulations on an incredible debut today for Manchester City.
Yeah, he had an incredible debut. It was almost the perfect performance from him.
Goal and assist.
It's exciting. You got to see what Reijnders was like in terms of his driving runs.
But the stats don't even tell the full story. He was involved in all 4 of City's goals as they bent Wolves over. The first goal came because of Reijnders' engine and his ability to wait for the perfect time to release a pass. He picked up the ball at the halfway line and just started messing around with the Wolves players. First he faked a short pass to Bernardo, then he acted like he might slip Haaland through, then shaped up for a diagonal to Rico Lewis. Each time the defenders panicked and dropped back, which gave him the space to run into. Then finally, he opened his body like he was about to play it wide to Stones, but instead pulled off La Croqueta, the move that was made famous by Andres Iniesta, and glided past 2 players. Then to finish it all off, he scooped the ball over the defense perfectly for Rico Lewis, who squared it across for Haaland to score. Everything Reijnders does just looks calm and controlled. Just 4 minutes later, he doubled the lead.
The man who's had an eye for goal in Serie A has got an eye for goal in England.
Oscar Bob picked up a poor pass and burst forward on the counter, with Haaland and Reijnders running alongside him. The obvious pass was to the Dutch midfielder. He was out wide and still about 20 yards from the goal. Now most players either would have blasted this or tried to cut back on their right, but instead Reijnders stayed cool and guided the ball smoothly into the far corner with his weaker left foot. Then in the second half, Trafford held the ball, waiting for movement, and Reijnders instantly saw the gap. He sprinted into it, controlled the clip pass perfectly, drove forward and linked up with Bob for a quick 1-2. Without even looking, he slipped a clever pass back to Haaland, who curled it into the far corner. That awareness, knowing exactly where Haaland was, pretty much sums up Reijnders' footballing intelligence. Again and again, he timed his runs down the right, noticing that City had an overload and bursting in behind. For Cherki's goal, he combined neatly out wide, kept running past the defense, and sent in a cross that made it to the back post. Seconds later, Cherki scored. That's football, and Wolves won't be the last Premier League side to get torn apart by Reijnders this season. Meanwhile, I wonder how Gundogan was feeling, watching a younger version of himself from the bench.
Watching it reminded me of Gundogan when he was at his best. He had that little period where he was scoring loads of goals but still doing all the other stuff. I mean, if he can do what Gundogan was doing for what, 3 or 4 years, what a signing.
Gundogan was Pep's very first signing at City, and no one understood Pep's footballing ideas better. In fact, people even say that he can end up on Pep's coaching staff once he retires. But naturally, he didn't have the energy and legs that he had back in 2023. City's midfield needed fresh legs.
We were not starving enough. The 4 points in a row, I felt the players, even the club, what's next? It looks like no.
And Reijnders has solved that problem the moment he stepped on the pitch.
Tijjani Reijnders, we really enjoyed the quality that he brought to your midfield. Yeah. How much is he going to help you in terms of creating things this season?
No, a lot because he's a rhythm defensively. He's occupy a space with Nico. Hopefully with Rodri, we'll be present and after have an incredible quality to make runs in behind, to attack the gaps. This is really good finishing.
Now, while his performances are finally getting praised now, those that have followed Reijnders' story know that he has always been underrated. In fact, not many people know the story of his rise. Reijnders was born in Zwolle on the 29th of July, 1998. He is the son of former footballer Martin Reijnders and the brother of Iliana Reijnders, a professional player playing for PEC Zwolle. Now you might be wondering, why does Reijnders look more like Rodrigo from Real Madrid than your stereotypical Dutch player? And that's because he is of Indonesian descent through his mother. Reijnders' journey in the football scene started at a young age, when he started his career with the FC Twente youth team. He played for them until the U17 team, before being released to CSV 28 and playing for 1 year for them from 2015 to 2016. In 2016, Reijnders joined his homeland team, PEC Zwoele's under-19 squad, where he then moved up the level and appeared in the Eredivisie club's first team. But even at PEC Zwoele, Reijnders only played 1 year. After that year, he transferred to AZ Alkmaar, where he initially played for their reserve team. It was a huge move for him, as at that time it was reported that he was working at a local supermarket. He would work at Aldi, then train. At Alkmaar, he seized the opportunity and showed that he was too good for the under-21s and moved up to the professional team in 2018. But the club still felt he needed more time to develop, so they loaned him out for 6 months to RKC Waalwijk. He only played 8 games there, but when he returned to AZ Alkmaar, he became a part of the first team. His professional development had been rapid, showcasing just how committed the Dutch midfielder was to getting to the top. In the 2022-2023 season, Reijnders was instrumental in Alkmaar's midfield. He made 46 appearances across all competitions. He got 7 goals and 5 assists, showcasing his attacking qualities. His performances were pivotal in Alkmaar's journey to the semi-finals of the UEFA Conference League. Reijnders' versatility allowed him to excel in various different midfield roles. No matter where he was playing, he showed his exceptional vision and technical skills. His ability to control the tempo of the game and deliver precise passes made him a key playmaker for the team. These qualities quickly made him attract the attention from major European clubs, leading to his transfer to AC Milan in July of 2023. There was actually some buzz about him potentially joining Barcelona, but according to Reijnders himself, he felt that Milan was a better tactical fit for him. Not gonna lie, at that time, Barcelona's finances weren't looking the best, so he might have just gone to Milan because he was afraid that Barca wouldn't pay him. Either way, a massive move for him. He had gone from being a pretty unknown Dutch talent to joining one of the biggest clubs in Italy. More eyes were on him now, so more pressure. He had signed a 5-year contract, looking to help the Rossoneri to become Scudetto champions again. On the 21st of August, he made his first competitive start in a Serie A match against Bologna. He would have to wait until November 11th to get his first Serie A goal, a lovely individual run against Lecce. Now, before he scored, he did pick up 2 assists, one in his debut against Bologna and then another in a win over Cagliari. So while he wasn't wowing anyone with the stats, his performances were solid. Despite being the newcomer, he quickly established himself as a pivotal figure in the team's midfield. His versatility, technical quality, and football IQ were very obvious from the get-go. He automatically improved the team's midfield dynamics. A big part of that was his ability to transition quickly from defending to attacking. I mean, think about it. 1 second he's chasing a midfielder down to win the ball back, and then as soon as he has the ball, he's playing an inch-perfect pass to Leao. In a very inconsistent Milan side, Reijnders was one of the few things that was consistent. It's why he appeared in 50 games in all competitions for the Rossoneri in just his first season, picking up 4 goals and 4 assists. You gotta remember that he was playing in a deeper role, so goals and assists were not a priority for him in the system. His job was to dictate the tempo of play and help control matches, be aggressive, then defensively win the 50-50 balls in the middle of the park. Pioli was mainly playing him as a left-sided central midfielder in a 4-3-3, but sometimes he would also operate as one of the double pivots in a 4-2-3-1. Now, while Pioli ended up being sacked, Reijnders actually started performing better in the next season. He had begun to adjust to life in Italy, so he was having a much better season statistically than his debut season. He picked up an assist against Torino, got an assist in the Milan derby, then picked up 2 goals against Empoli. He also scored the decisive goal against Monza as he was rewarded the MVP for the match. His versatility has been on full display as he's operated as one of the holding midfielders as well as in the number 10 role. Like I said, whatever position you require from him in the center of the park, he will do at the highest level possible. What's great about him is he wasn't just performing in the Serie A either. He got a brace against Club Brugge and then got a goal against Real Madrid in the Champions League. His performance against Madrid might have actually been one of his best performances in the red and black jersey. Milan completely outplayed the European champions, and Reijnders was at the heart of it all. All those big names on the pitch like Mbappe, Vinny, and Bellingham, yet it was Reijnders' performance that caught everyone's eye. He really has a combination of qualities that are hard to find. In fact, his playstyle is often described as poetry in motion. His vision and ability to precisely execute the right passes, it looks so easy for him when he's playing. He is one of AC Milan's most important players. He is the heart and soul of the midfield. A player who not only dictates the tempo, but is also willing to do the dirty work defensively. Like, there's a reason his market value has only gone up. He was purchased for a modest 20 million euros from Alkmaar. His current valuation stands at well over 50 million euros. The spike in performance and valuation has attracted the attention of other top tier clubs again, including Tottenham, I mean, they're not really a top club, Manchester City, and Chelsea. Each of those clubs sees the potential that Reijnders can bring in terms of bolstering their midfield option. As expected though, Milan is really looking to keep his services. He's one of the cornerstones of Milan's strategic setup. Yes, the attackers always get the headlines, players like Leao and Pulisic, but you need a guy like Reijnders to be able to connect the defense to the attack. The Dutchman has developed into a top-tier midfielder. He's somebody who is capable of influencing high-stake matches. If you don't believe me, just go and watch his individual highlights in that game against Real Madrid. To put on a performance like that at the Bernabeu, away from home, that's a top-quality, world-class potential midfielder. It's why Milan are really trying to swiftly secure a contract extension with him. He's also been fantastic for the Dutch national team. In the Nations League, he got a goal and assist against Bosnia, then scored against Germany. Him and Gravenberch are both the present and future of the Dutch national team midfield. Two incredibly quality players. City desperately need a guy like this in the middle of the park to rebuild their midfield. Because Pep, buddy, it's time to move on from the Unks. As much as you watch De Bruyne on YouTube, Reijnders is more of a mix between Bernardo Silva and Gundogan. His runs in behind the half spaces are classic Gundogan, so is his ability to arrive late into the box and shoot. But according to Skill Corner's data analysts, Reijnders' movement is also very similar to Bernardo Silva. From this graphic, you can see that both provide a lot of supporting runs and come short for the ball. They are also similar when it comes to being ahead of the ball. These guys define ahead of the ball as someone who's making a run in front of a teammate who has the ball but not going offside or getting past the defenders. He's a midfielder that can affect the game in any area of the pitch. For Milan, sometimes he comes deep to pick up the ball and help with the build-up, but he can also make things happen in the attacking third, which is exactly what a prime Gundogan used to do. Reijnders is the type of player that can dictate the tempo of a match in many different ways. He can make short, quick passes to keep possession, but he can carry the ball himself, or even ping a long ball if he has to. He is always looking to get in possession. Here he is against Bologna, receiving the ball on the edge of his own box, knocking it back to the keeper, gesturing where the ball should go next, then moving up 20 yards diagonally to receive the ball again. He's always active. Having a player that can play make from deep and make things happen in front of goal is a rare and priceless quality. Not many midfielders can do both. In fact, in most midfield setups, that role is split between two different midfielders. One is usually in charge of keeping the ball, and the other's job is to take that ball and actually put it in the goal. But like I said, Reijnders can do both. Reijnders' best quality is his ability to carry the ball. Here he is against Napoli, receiving the ball then carrying it to the edge of the opposition box. This will be perfect for City when they play against teams that park the bus, which realistically is every team. When you have someone that can carry the ball, he can force the defenders to crash onto him, creating space for others. And City really need this because Nunez cannot do it. In fact, Pep's kind of a savage. He publicly said that Nunez can't even play in the center of the park.
I think he's not a player to play in the middle because he's not enough clever in the composer.
Kovacic can carry it well, but he doesn't always do it effectively. He's actually low-key one of the best carriers of the ball I've ever seen, but the Croatian can sometimes go too far with the ball. And Nico Gonzalez, well, he's not the type of player to do that. He's the type of player that just keeps you in possession. Remember when I told you about midfielders having different roles? Gonzalez's role is just to keep the tempo of the game. He doesn't carry the ball past multiple defenders. Meanwhile, Reijnders, again, can do both, and that's why Pep wants him. He's someone who's calm under pressure, always available for a pass, clean touch, sharp movement, nice hair. Although I've glazed this guy for the entire video, everything isn't perfect. At least not yet. Off the ball, Reijnders isn't the strongest when it comes to winning duels or battling for second ball. He's not that type of aggressive midfielder, but that's an area where he can improve. Think of how Bernardo Silva and Gundogan improved over time. They got better at being physical and not just being good on the ball. Reijnders can grow in the same way, and to be honest, he doesn't really have to. With Rodri and Nico Gonzalez that can all play behind him, there are midfielders that can do the tackling for him. Yes, at a certain level, he has to still be aggressive and fight for loose balls, but that's not his main job. What he brings is excitement. He's not just neat and tidy in between the lines. He can give you goals. He hit double digits in the 2025 season for a very subpar Milan side. Like, imagine scoring 15 goals as a midfielder for a team that finished most of the season in mid-table. And these are not tap-in goals either. He scores in a variety of ways. Clever runs, bursts of energy, shots from distance. This guy will be a weapon in a Premier League midfield. There's one goal in particular that really stands out to me, and that was his goal against Spain when he was playing for the Netherlands. He picks up the ball, threads a pass, drives forward into space, and finishes the move himself with total composure. It's a goal that really shows all of his qualities. A blend of intelligence, drive, and end product. And that's what makes him not just a good midfielder, but a truly elite one. And again, I have to bring up that performance against Real Madrid. Goals, assists, he just ran the show. If you can sign a player who gets you out of danger at the back, demands to get the ball back, and then carries it all the way to the opposition area, where he then either scores or creates something himself, you've got yourself a pretty good player. If City want to rebuild for life after De Bruyne, they're gonna need a player who can do more than just keep things ticking. They don't need another player that just keeps them in possession. They need someone that can make things happen. And Reijnders is that kind of player. Yes, he plays with flair, with style. He looks very good on the eye test, but he also plays with purpose. Cause City don't want a repeat of the 2025 season. They don't want to go trophyless again. They're not Manchester United. Then from Reijnders' perspective, a move to City is a huge step up from the disaster that is happening at Milan. He will be surrounded by better players, and one of, if not the greatest manager of all time. To see just how scary this City team is, you gotta check out this video right here.